Hey there guys, in this video I'm going to talk about a tool called Recon-ng, and by end of this video you know how to work with the Recon-ng. Everything you will know about Recon-ng. So I have already written a blog post about Recon-ng, and the blog post link is in the description. Do go and check it out guys. So let me click on the blog post, and I have given what is Recon-ng. Recon-ng is a information gathering tool where you can find all of the information gathering tool combined in Recon-ng, and this tool is very much similar to the Metasploit framework because both are very much similar. If you already have worked with the Metasploit, Recon-ng is easy for you to work with it. And I have given who developed the tool, and I have also given the GitHub download link, the author's YouTube, and I have also given the features in Recon-ng, and we are going to see all of these, and also have given the commands in Recon-ng, and by end of this video you will be familiar with all of these commands. And if you want, you could come and read the blog post, and I have given a detailed blog post about the Recon-ng. So let me close the web browser and let me open the Terminator. And firstly, make sure you are in root. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Make sure you are in root first of all. So some tools ask for privilege mode, so make sure you are in root, and I'll teach you firstly we will see how to install the Recon-ng tool, and Recon-ng is already pre-installed in most of the Debian machines. If it is not installed, do this command apt get install Recon-ng. If you are in normal mode, just enter sudo in front. To load up Recon-ng, just enter Recon-ng and it will load. So it has loaded, and firstly let us do the help. Help is when you type help, it displays the help command. It displays everything related to the Recon-ng, and we will talk about all the way from down. From workspace we are going from down to up. So firstly we are going to talk about the workspaces. Workspaces is nothing but you're creating your own workspace, so whatever you are doing will be saved in the particular workspaces. So let's type the workspaces. I'm typing workspaces. Once you type workspaces, it gives 4 options, and it says create, list, load, remove. Firstly let's do workspaces list. By default there is a default workspace, so whatever information gathering you do, it will be saved in the default workspace. Suppose if you want to add another workspace, just add workspace, create, and enter the workspace name. Here I am entering the workspace name as John, or you could enter whatever you want. So don't mind about this showed an API. I will talk about this API later. So I have enter workspaces, create John, and to ensure the workspace is added, just enter workspace list. So you could see the John workspaces list added. And now to load the John workspace, now the John workspace is inactive and the default workspace is active. To make the John workspace active, enter this command workspace load and enter the workspace name. And now the John workspace is loaded. As you could see here, the John workspace is loaded. Now if you want to remove the John workspace, just enter workspace remove and mention the workspace name. So now it is removed. To make sure the workspace name is removed, let's do workspace list, and now you could see the workspace John is removed. If you want to add more workspace, if you want, you could add it, but the default one is enough. So it is more than enough. If you want, you can customize by adding a more workspace. And yeah, that's it about workspace. So workspace is generally you're creating your own username. So whatever you do, it will be saved in the particular workspace. That's it. Nextly, we move on to the spool. Spool, I will talk about this at the end of the video. And let's move on to snapshot. So snapshot is nothing but it saves the work you have done. Let's type snapshots. Once you type snapshot, it has given 4 options, that is list, load and remove taken. Let me go to the workspace and make sure you are good with it, and let me open a leaf pad. Yeah, a little bit smaller, make it a little bit. Okay, let's type help. By now you should know what is workspace. So workspace is where you are working. So workspace is where you are working, and if you want, you could create your own workspace. So whatever the workspace is, whatever the work you are doing will be saved in the workspaces. And we have seen in workspaces, we have seen the create, we have seen how to create, we have seen how to list it. You can create the workspace by doing workspaces create and mention the name. And the list, workspaces list means it displays the list of workspace you have created, and the load, it loads the created workspaces. And to remove a workspace, just do workspaces remove and a particular one and the particular name. So now we know we have completed workspaces, but by now you should know at least what is a workspace. You should get an idea of the workspaces. So let me give completed. Yeah, we have completed the workspaces. Then let's move on to the spool. Spool is, I'll talk about this later. I have said this already. And the snapshot. Snapshot is something, it saves what are the work you have done, and it just takes a capture of the work you have done and it saves in the database. So if you want to save the activities you have done, just enter snapshot tag. So now you could see that snapshot created, and it says snapshot, and it mentions the file name and .db. db is for the database. And let's enter snapshot list. So we are going to do a list. You can see the option over here. And once you do list, you could see the snapshot taken. And if you want to load this particular snapshot, just enter snapshot load. You could see the option over here, and enter the snapshot file name and the .db, and now it is loaded. The snapshot is loaded. Suppose if you want to remove any snapshot, if you are having multiple snapshot, and if you want to remove a particular one, enter snapshot and remove, and mention the particular file name, and now it's removed. To ensure the snapshot is removed, just do snapshots list. So it says that this workspace has no snapshots, so there is no snapshots, so we don't get any box like this one. So we have seen about snapshot. So now, by now you should know what is snapshot, and we have seen how to list a snapshot and loading a snapshot, and how to remove a snapshot, and how to take a snapshot. So let me open this leaf pad. Let me enter. Okay, let's move on to next. The next we are going to talk about is help. Let me type help, and the next we are going to talk about is the show. In one word I can say is show displays the after results, which means all the results will be saved in the show, which means in show there are like 13 frameworks. Let me enter. As you could see, there are 13 frameworks in show, the company's contacts. So totally there are 13 frameworks. So whatever you are doing, suppose if you are doing a scan related to the companies, the results will be saved in the company. Suppose if you are doing a scan related to leaks, it will be saved in the leaks framework. Suppose if you are doing a scan related to ports, it will be saved in the ports. And to open these, just enter show and enter the framework. So here I'm going to enter the ports. So no data return, and let me enter others. Show contacts. So in contacts there is 10, we can say 10 results are here. So all the results will be displayed in the show command. So that's it about the show. If you have any doubt, just comment down below, I will help you out. So by end of this video you will also become more familiar with the show command, and if you're confused with the show command, just wait, and within few minutes I will get into the real Recon-ng work, and we will work with the tools and perform on the target, and then you will understand about the show command. So we can say partially completed, and let's move on to the next command. Next is shell. The shell is where you execute the shell commands. So if you want to execute the shell command, just enter shell and whatever the shell you want. Once I give enter, it asks for the exclamatory, and you could enter the vi or bash or whatever you want. So it says the command bash, and I'm not going to do anything. So shell is nothing but execute shell commands. Shell is execute shell commands. Most of the time you will not be using the shell, so don't worry about it. If you're gathering just information, so you shouldn't worry about the shell command. Let me enter Recon-ng. So I went all the way back, help, and let's move on to the script. The script, I will talk about this later, and let's move on to the PDB. So PDB, if you're gathering for information, you shouldn't be worried about the PDB command, because PDB stands for Python debugger. Those who are developers, coders, they just come here and they just debug the codes they have written, the Python codes they have written. So if you're a plugin developer, this command is very much useful. If you want, just come and try it. Just enter PDB and give enter, and if you want, you can mention the file name and you can debug it. That's it about PDB. I'm not going to explain PDB very much in deep, because it is not doing any work with the information gathering part. So if you want, you can go and work with it personally. So if you want, you can work with it. It's very much good. So PDB is Python debugger. Completed. You completed. So I'm writing you complete. And next, let's move on to options. Okay, this is a good one. Options. This is the favorite part I like in this tool. Once you give option, we get 3 options. Firstly, let us do options list. When you do options list, you could see there are number of names over here and there are number of values over here. So if you take an nmap or any other tools, you could specifically say that for a command, you can say that make the threads to the level like 2 or 10. So you are fasting up the scan. So in Recon-ng, you could just configure the settings over here. You could see it. The name server is set to 8.8.8 and the proxy is not set, and the threads is 11. If you want, you could change it. The timeout and the verbosity is 1. So to change and unset the current values, just enter these commands. So firstly, options unset. So if you want to unset the particular value, just enter options unset and enter the name. So the name here I'm going to unset is name server, and specify the just enter this. Now we have unset the value. To ensure the value is unset, just enter options list, and you could see the name server current values unset. If you want to set the name server value again, enter options, set, and specify the name and enter the value you want. So in this place I'm going to enter 8.8.8, and to ensure the value is entered, enter options list, and it is entered. So just pause the video and I'm going to give a task, and the task is change the threads to 10, and by default the threads will be 10. Just change the threads to 11 and change the timeout to 9 and change the verbosity to 0. So this is your task. Just pause it and just come back. So by now I think you should have done it. So if you have listened to me, you have done it. And let me show you how to unset or override the values. So anyways, I will do it. So I'm going to set the threads to 10. To set the threads to 10, just enter options and specify the name, and I'm entering options set threads and specify the name. The name here is threads, and the value I'm going to enter is 10, and it says the thread is 10. To ensure the thread the value is changed, just enter options list and it is changed to 10. So you can do it for other options. So options is nothing but you could configure the settings of the Recon-ng. Let me go here. By now you should know what is the options. Options is nothing but the settings of the Recon-ng, and we have completed it. Let's give help and let's go through what have we got. Workspaces. So workspaces is where you create your own workspace, and whatever work you do will be saved in the workspace. And the spool, talk about later. Snapshot, the work you have done, you could take the snapshot over here and you could download it or remove it, whatever you can do. The show framework, it shows the results. It shows the results, that's it. And the shell, you could execute a shell command. And the PDB script, I will talk about it later. And the PDB is not for information gatherers, it's just for the Python debuggers. So it's just for Python debuggers who are working in plugins, they can use this. And options is nothing but it is the settings of the Recon-ng tool. Now let's move on to the marketplace, and then let's move on to the modules. So you will get confused. Firstly, let's move on to the marketplace. I'm going to enter marketplace, and once you enter marketplace, you can see 5 options, that is info, install, refresh, remove, search. So marketplace is where you can gather all the you can get and install all the hacking tools the Recon-ng has. So I'm going to do marketplace SCARCH. So I'm just doing marketplace search. So once you give this command, it displays all the hacking tools the marketplace has got. It says that it has got the CSV files, list, masscan, nmap, and it has a good number of tools. And it also says that D is equal to has dependency and K is equal to requires key. Yes, I want to talk about this also. The D for dependency is some tools requires some kind of some tools requires the package. Package means some tool requires, depends on the other tools or other languages. So make sure whatever the tool asks, just install it. So then only the tool will work. And the K is for API key. Only if there is if you add the API key, the tool will work. So I will also tell you how to, I will also show you how to add the API keys. Okay, now let's search for a particular Now let's search for a particular tool. I'm going to search for a DNS tool. Once you type marketplace search DNS and specify the tool you are searching for, so we can see who is Hoxie DNS is here, and it requires the API key. And suppose if you are searching for a discovery tool, just enter discovery and you could see the discovery tool. Suppose if you are searching for a leak tool, just enter marketplace search leak and you could see the leak tools. So WikiLeaker, feud list, and all these are here. Suppose if you're searching for a port scanning tool, enter marketplace search port. So it has wide range of tools. And if you're searching for marketplace, let's keep it as if you're searching for a profile finder, yeah, it has displayed all these. Okay, to install any kind of tool, just enter marketplace and tell install. Let me make it more easy. So we have seen the search and how to specify for a particular tool. Now to install a tool, enter marketplace, install, and specify the path. So if you are going to install this one, name chk, let's go with dev driver, yeah. So specify the path, just copy it and paste it in here. Once you paste it, it says that it is installed. So it is installed. Don't worry about the key. I have not added the showdown key so that it is showing this kind of exclamatory mark and the red arrow. So don't worry about it. If you get, just skip it. And the tool is installed. If you want to install multiple tools, just do this command marketplace install and enter the file, enter the path. Okay, so this is how to install any tools. So marketplace is generally where you can get all the tools in the Recon-ng. And let's move on to the remove. So remove is you are removing a particular tool. So we give marketplace remove and we say that to remove the file the tool we have installed this tool. So you could see here we have installed this tool, and if you want to uninstall any tool, just enter marketplace remove and specify the file path. And now the tool is removed. You could see module removed. If you want to add it, marketplace, where is the command? Okay, I'll write it manually. Marketplace install and specify the path. Now the module is installed. Okay guys, marketplace. So the refresh, marketplace refresh, refresh. So marketplace refresh is nothing but if there is a new tool is added, you could just do marketplace refresh and you could check for the new tool, new added tool. And the info, if you give marketplace info and specify the file path, and it displays the information about the particular tool. And that's it about this. So by now you should know what is marketplace, and the marketplace is where you can get not all the hacking tools, kind of a bunch of hacking tools in the Recon-ng, and you could also find the famous Nmap and maskans are also there, even the showdown, and most of the popular tools are in Recon-ng. And let's type marketplace. Marketplace is where you can get all the tools, install, remove, and gather information of a particular tool. So completed. Now let's move on to the modules. So when we install the tool, it says that module installed. So whatever the tool install will be saved in the modules. So we have installed the tool in from the marketplace, and the tool now will be saved in the modules. To view the tools saved, to view the installed tool saved, just enter modules And once you enter modules, it displays three options, that is load, reload and search. Now let's do modules search. Once you do module search, it displays the install tools, and we could find the tool we have installed. So here is dev driver. So to load any tool, I'm going to load this Whoisbox one. Let's just copy it. To load any tool, just enter modules, load. So load is you are generally making the tool open, and you are going to work with the tool, and just enter the path. So now the tool is loaded. You could see here Whoisbox is open and we are inside the Whoisbox. Now we are going to type the info command. If you type info, it displays all the information like the name, author, and the description of the tool and the options. So the options is the most important one. Here the current value is set to kali.organization. The value is nothing but the target. So instead of the kali.organization, let's change it to let's change the target to bbc.com. So to change any target, let's enter options, set source, and enter the value you want. So I'm going to type bbc.com, and to ensure the current value is the value you have entered is added, just enter info again. Now it have changed to the bbc.com, and just give run to run the tool on the target bbc.com. So let's run it. The result started to run, and it has given the summary, and it has says that 1 total and 1 new contacts found, and it's good. So this is how to run the particular tool on a particular target. So you can also try with the other tools. Just go to marketplace and install a bunch of tools. My suggestion is just go to marketplace and install at least 4 to 5 tools, and just come to modules and just work with it. And now let's move on to modules, and let's go back. So now we are in Whoisbox. To just go back, just enter back. Now we are back. Now let's enter modules, and the reload command is nothing but it reloads. Suppose if you are doing a specific configuration to a particular tool, you can reload it, because if you change a particular IP proxy address, it will not work. So you could reload. You can just say modules reload and specify the path. So that's it. So it says reloading modules. You can just do modules reload. When you do modules reload, it reloads every modules. And if you want to specifically reload a module, just enter modules reload and specify and the path you want to specify. Now let's search for another tool, and let's do with the dev diver. Just copy it, marketplace, load, and specify the path. Sorry guys, I made a mistake. M-A-R-K-E-T. Sorry, I have typed marketplace, that's my mistake. Let's enter modules. Sorry, my mistake. Modules, load, and specify the path. And we are inside the dev diver, and let's give info. And the current value, the target is set to the default. Now let's change it to a particular target, and the target here will be option set. Okay, let's keep it as bbc.com again. Set source and specify the name, and the name here is source, and the value we're going to enter is bbc.com. To ensure the current value is added, the value you have entered is added, just enter info, and you could see that the value you have entered is added. Now let's enter run, and let's wait for the results. Oh, don't, never mind. So it didn't find any kind of informations, so let's give back. So this is how to work with any kind of tools. In marketplace you could find the tools and install them. In modules you could just run the tools. So now you know, for any tools you can just do a modules load and specify the path, and you can just go and configure over there. And let's do one more. So you get more good at this module search. So more GU, and let's do with the showdown IP. Yeah, let's do with the showdown IP. I think this requires the API key, and in few moments I will talk about the API and how to add API. So modules load and specify the path. Now we are inside the showdown IP. Let's give info, and now we are having two names. So if you want to, the current value over here, it asks for the API, so the current value is 1, and the source here is default. Now if you want to change both, just enter options, set limit, and we are going to change the limit to 0. So 0 is for unlimited, you could see here, and let's give enter. To check the values, enter, give info, and the value now change it to 0. And now let's change the source to a particular target, and the target here will be, let's keep it as BBC or Google Kali. Let's keep it as Kali. So options, set source, and enter the target. The target here will be kali.org. Sorry guys, I made a mistake. So dot it has come. Center kali.org, and to ensure the value center, just enter info and the value center. And now let's give a run. So it has not displayed any results, and I have done with so I get more kind of these results, and I don't know it is problem on my side or the tool side. And I have also pulled a request in the GitHub of the Recon-ng, and I'm waiting for the answer. And not only me, other YouTubers who have done video on the Recon-ng also face the same problem. This is because the tool is pretty much older, and it's not getting constant updates, and so that is the problem, I guess. Let's give back. So there are pretty much more tools, but some tools are not working. If the tool guy who made the Tim tools, if you are watching, make sure these problems are not there, man. It's a great tool. And now let's move on to the help command. Now you also know what is modules, the marketplace. Let me open the leaf pad, and 6 modules completed, and you are not completed yet. So you just keep on trying with your own things. So you just go to the marketplace, download whatever tool you want, just come back to modules and just load it and give info and change the targets, and just work with it. Done. Just play with it. And once you are very much familiar with the modules and marketplace, you're more than enough in working with the Recon-ng, and these two are more important in Recon-ng. Now let's move on to the keys. So here is the part comes. So here we are going to add the API key. So I want to add the API key. Let me open the web browser. So let it load. Let me type keys. So it has loaded. And let me go to showdown, and let me give login. And so we are inside. Let me click the accounts, and in accounts you can find the API keys. Not only for Shodan, you could also find for any other tools which requires API. Just go to settings and you could find it. Just go to settings and play with it, you will find it. So it is really very bad to show the API, but I can reset the API key over here. Now let me grab the API key and just copy it, and let's give keys. The command here is keys. Once you type keys, it displays three results, that is add, list, remove. Firstly, let's do keys list. So it says that showed an API. Suppose if you install in marketplace, if you are installing any other tools which requires API, will be listed here. Okay, any other tools which requires API will be listed here. And to add the API key, just follow this step: keys, add, and specify the name. We are specifying the name because if there are multiple tools which requires API, it should know which value to add for the which tool. So we are specifying the name, and let's specify showed an API and enter the API key, and I'm entering it. So the keys showed an API added. To ensure the API key is added, enter keys list. As you could see here, the value is now added. Suppose if you want to remove API key, over here you could see the command remove, keys remove, and enter the specify the name, and just give enter. That's it. So to ensure the API key for Shodan underscore API is removed, enter options list. Sorry guys, keys list. So I made a mistake. So nothing has displayed. When I type keys list, it gives no error, and which means it is good, all good, and no boxes over here. So the API key is removed. And now let's move on to the next. So now you know how to add the API key. Let me enter keys completed. And let's move on to the index. So index is pretty much simple. Index is where you can find the information of a particular tool you have installed. Let me give index, and it says module all. Let's do index all. Once you give index all, it displays all we have installed many tools, so it displays all the descriptions of the tool you have installed, and it also gives the versions of the tool and much more. If you're searching for a particular index, for example, if you're searching for a particular tool information, just enter index and enter the file path. So here I'm going to enter this tool profiler. Let's give paste. So the index will be done for only the profiler. You can see it's written by Micah Hoffman, and it gives information related to the profiler and the version and so on. So index is nothing but the version. It displays the information of the installed tools. So index completed, and let's move on to the next. Now the help command, we have used this help command more than enough, so by now you should know what is the help. So help completed, and let's move on to the show. So we have performed a tool called what? Perform, I think who is box. We have performed that tool. Let's do show, and let's move on to the contacts. I guess I don't know what exactly we have done. Let's do show and enter contacts. So the results are saved here. You could see last time it was 10 results, but now it is 11 results. So show command displays the results of the target you have run, the hacking tools, the tool you have run. It displays the results over here in the show command. Let's move on to the help, and now you know the exit command exits. Okay guys, now let's do a help again. So now you know what is index and the help and the exit. We have used the help so many times. The exit, if I give exit, we will exit the framework, or if I give now exit, it will exit the Recon-ng. And the DB is nothing but the database. So in the workspaces, we have created the workspace you want, and whatever the work you are doing will be saved in the workspace, but there should be a database. So the database is the DB. So we could clearly see here interfaces with the workspaces database. So it have given here itself, and let's do DB again. So once you give DB is a short form of database, and it gives 5 options, that is delete, insert, nodes, query and schema. So firstly, if you give DB schema, and it will display all the 14 framework we have seen, and it will display in a box format. So it says DB schema is nothing but in domains. If you do a result, if you search for a result, domain for a particular domain result, it will display only the domains, nodes and the modules one. So all these informations are over here. So let's move on to DB. And if you want to manually insert a database, suppose if you manually want to add a result, just enter DB insert and specify the table. The table here will be profiles, and paste it in here, and let's say enter. Let's give enter. Once you give enter, it's asked for username. So the username here will be John, and resource it will be GitHub, and the URL it will be http github.io/ let's keep it as John. And the category is let's leave it alone. Let's don't fill it up. Nodes, nothing. And it says the 0 rows affected, so nothing is inserted. Let's do it once more. DB insert profile. Let's enter the username. Let's keep it as DD. Let's keep it as my name, Maulik. And the resource git, and the URL nothing. Category, let's keep it as stupid thing. And nodes, nothing. 0 rows affected. I don't know, it is not displaying any results. And let's move on to show profiles. And yeah guys, we could see here I have already entered this one, so I was wondering why this isn't working. So as you could see, the John name is already inserted over here, and even the GitHub is already in here. So let's change the name. Let's change the name to DB insert profiles, and let's change the name to hello.com category FM, nodes, nothing. 1 rows affected. Now it's my mistake. At first place I have entered the existing name, so it didn't display existing name, and the existing source and the existing URL I have entered, so it didn't display any. It says that 0 rows affected, but now you could see that 1 rows are affected. Now let's do show. You could clearly see there are only 14 results, or we can say it as 14 rows. Let's do show profiles. So the show command just displays the result. By now you should be more familiar with the show command. Let's give show, and now you could see here the 15 row is added, and the username hero hello.com. So all the credentials we have added it manually in the database. Now let's move on to next. Let's give help. Let's give db again. I think I didn't talk about the delete one. Let's do db delete, and if you want to delete a particular table, just enter db delete profiles s, and it asks for the rows. ROWIDS is nothing but which row you want to delete. So in this place I am going to delete the 15th row. Let's give 15, and it says 1 row is affected. Let's give show profiles, and the 15th row is gone. The manually entered data is now gone. Now let me open the leaf pad and enter database is completed. Okay guys, now let's give help again, and the exit command is to just exit. I have talked about it. And the dashboard, I think dashboard I have talked about it already. Let me open it. No, I have not talked about dashboard. So the dashboard displays the overall summary. So it says that I have run Hoisbox 4 times, and all these how many times I ran a tool, and you can see the result. We have got in context, we could find 11 quantities, which you can say it as 11 results or 11 rows. In repository I have manually added this, and we could see it, there are only 1 result. And let's move on to help. So back we have completed the dashboard. Dashboard is just the summary, displays the summary, and let's give completed, and let's move on to the next. The next we are going to, yeah, we have completed mostly, and the script. Let's move on to the script and the spool. Firstly, let's talk about the script. The script is nothing but it says record and execute command script. Suppose if you already have a script, if you are building your own hacking tool, you can just execute the script by just saying that script, and just say script execute, and I don't have any files, so that I can't do it. So if you have any files, or go to GitHub and download any files, and save it in your desktop, and just do script execute and mention the directory and the path. That's it. The file will be executed now. Now if you want to see the script is active or it is not active, just do script status, and the command recording is stopped. And if you want to record, just do script execute record. So this will only work if you load the executable script. So you should mention the script and execute and the file path. Now at least you should have an idea of about what is script. If you have any scripts, go and try with yours. And let me move on to the next. So this is very much important. The next one is we are going to save the files, and we are extracting it in JSON format or whatever the format we are having. Partially completed, and it will be done by you. The script will be done by you guys. Next, move to how to extract the results in let's see how to extract the results in different format. So by default in Recon-ng there is a web format result extraction. That is, go to this directory /user/share, I guess. Let's go it. Let's enter share recon-ng. Sorry, let me come out. So let's go to this directory, cd /usr/share Recon-ng -ng, and now we are inside that directory. Now let's give list. Once you give list, you could see that recon web is available. Just give // and recon -web. Once you give, it will show the local host. It gives an IP address, so just copy it and open in your web server. Open in your web browser. I'm going to open another tab and just paste it in here, and let's give enter. So it displays the results, what all we scanned, and it says that in repository there is 1 result, contacts it says 11 results, in profile 14. And if you go to the profiles, you could also see here it is in menu types. So I'm going to the contacts, and in contacts we can see it is in ordered manner, in arranged manner. Everyone will like this, and you could also export it in CSV, JSON, list, proxy, Excel, XS, XML format. So CSV is most used format. If you want, you could download here, and I'm going to use LibreCalc, and open file. So it's opening with LibreOffice. So it is only available for Linux systems, I guess. Yeah, it's available for Linux system, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But the LibreOffice it's very much good. I like this tool. Let it load. So yeah, it has displayed the results we have got. So I have exported the contacts, and we could see the results over here. So it is pretty much in good format, and I really like this tool, the web format extraction. So do try this tool. So that's it about the Recon -ng. And if you really like this video, make sure give a like and subscribe to our channel, and see you next video, guys.